and welcome back to the NWA 1983 project. I'm your host, Lex G, and with me, as always, is Matt Riley. How you doing tonight, Matt?
Oh, I am excited.
Are you pumped and jacked today?
As Pete Carroll would say, I am jacked and pumped.
Oh, excuse me. So in today's episode, we'll take a look at a couple different things. Today will be a best of the NWA, so to speak. So we'll catch up on the goings-on and the National Wrestling Alliance as we prepare to go to Japan for our New Japan show. As you saw last episode, Harley Race defeated Dusty Rhodes to once again become the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Race is going to have to defend it against Antonio Inoki in Japan. We'll see how that goes. In addition to this episode, we're going to talk about wrestling movies.
Oh boy.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Lots and lots of ugly.
Well, when it comes down to wrestling movies, you have The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke. It's probably towards the top. You have No Holds Barred, which, you can say what you want about No Holds Barred, but it is a mainstream wrestling movie. Right. Paradise Alley, if you want to be a film snob, so to speak. Those are probably your three top movies. All the other wrestling movies seems to be, they're comedies, they're parodies. Some of them are B movies, and we'll take a look at. We'll go through the list, and we'll give you our opinions on some of these films. So I think the best place to start is with No Holds Barred. So Matt, did you see No Holds Barred in the movie theater?
No, I saw it on replay at one point.
Yeah, no one saw it in the movie theater because it only made $16 million.
Yeah, sadness.
I don't remember if I did at that point. I think I rented it on a video.
Dookie.
That
actor somewhere like, that's me.
Yeah. So, one of the interesting things about this film is that when originally Vince and Hulk got the script for it, they're like, fuck this shit. And they rewrote it in a hotel room over 3 nights.
Really?
Yeah. So this is a WWF-produced movie under the Shane Distribution Company. It was released by New Line Cinema in 1989. I do remember, I just recently watched a lot of the episodes of Primetime where they're really heavily promoting this movie, and they're talking about how great of an actor Hulk is, and you might win an Academy Award, and tickets are sold out, and you can't get in. And
it's the Zeus one, isn't it?
It is the Zeus one.
Okay.
So you have Hulk Hogan as Rip. He's the World Heavyweight Champion, the WWF Champion, and I guess the premise of this movie is that this evil CEO of a television network is trying to steal Hulk Hogan away, or Rip in the movie, away from the WWF and sign him to a deal so he could be on his network. Kind of reminds me of Ted Turner. I feel like this whole movie is about Ted Turner, by the way, because he just recently purchased WCW at the time. And again, it's your basic movie. So Zeus comes out, who was a former protege of Rip's trainer. I believe his name was Charlie, and he killed the guy after the bell. So this guy just got out of jail, and then Zeus beats up Hulk Hogan's brother, puts him in the hospital, and it's all kind of leading up to a match with Hulk Hogan or Rip and Zeus. Hulk has a love interest. I believe her name was Samantha. She gets kidnapped, and then shenanigans and hilarity ensue. But I think that some of the coolest stuff about this movie is who was in the movie. So obviously Hulk Hogan's in the movie, but you have Jeep Swanson makes an appearance. Good old Jeep Swanson. He played Bane, and
he's dead.
Yes, he is. Bill Eadie, Smash Superstar. You'll see him right in the beginning as the guy who's wrestling Hogan. And then, strange enough, randomly, Stan Hansen is in this flick.
Why?
I don't know. He's not in the WWF at the time. He's just Stan Hansen. So,
is he portray Stan Hansen as Stan Hansen?
Yeah, it's basically Stan Hansen, maybe
okay.
minus the cowboy hat. But he gets beat up by Zeus.
There's a baseball cap on. Ruined it for me.
Nah, he's just basically just with his chew and just being gross in a bar. Overall, it's not a bad movie. A lot of people give this movie shit, but it's not a bad movie, especially for that time period. I mean, look at all the other movies that came out in the 80s that, you're Over the Tops and your Red Heats and some of these other flicks. I mean, it's right up there with some of those in terms of summer blockbuster type movie. I mean, it wasn't really a blockbuster; it didn't do well, but
Yeah.
I think overall, I mean, it's a solid flick. I mean, it's fun. You know what I mean? So, the funny thing about it, the main villain like slaps the shit out of the girl. Like, wow, this guy's a real douche. He's beating women and stuff. And
What's douchey about that? Oh, no.
Another interesting thing about this movie is that it led to a pay-per-view called No Holds Barred, the match, the movie. So where if you ordered it on pay-per-view, the movie, you would get the No Holds Barred match, which was a tag team match between... So the match was Hulk Hogan and Brutus Beefcake taking on Zeus and Randy Savage inside a steel cage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Life imitates art.
Yeah, and Zeus came to the WWF and he wanted his revenge on Hulk Hogan for beating him up in the movie. The No Holds Barred card, which we didn't even see, we got to see just the main event. But it was Dusty Rhodes who defeated the Big Boss Man. The Ultimate Warrior defeated Dino Bravo. The Colossal Connection defeated Demolition. Demolition via count outs. I believe Andre and Haku may have been tag team champions at the time. Kurt Hennig versus Ron Garvin. And Hulk Hogan and Bruce Beefcake defeated Randy Savage and Zeus.
Ron Garvin.
Although I think I've seen some of these matches. I know I've seen the Hennig Garvin match. Yeah. Although someone should really put that pay-per-view back together and kind of reconstruct it. That'd be interesting. Little known fact about Zeus, he was supposed to main event WrestleMania 6. And they scrapped that for the Ultimate Warrior, which is, you know, good on their part.
Yeah.
They didn't have that one-on-one encounter.
Wow.
You know, it was one of those feuds that, you know, he was teaming up with Ted DiBiase. He was obviously teaming up with Savage, and, you know, they kind of went on from there. Overall, I don't think it was a bad flick. What do you think about No Holds Barred?
It's about what you expect from wrestling companies that make movies. I mean, I think the problem is that, you know, when you have a wrestling movie made by a company that's a wrestling company, you have natural instincts to protect the business. You know, if it's going to be, you know, goofy fun, it's fine. You know, so I think that's kind of what it is.
I definitely agree. I mean, you know, they didn't break kayfabe in this movie. I'll tell you that. Everything is, you know, above board or legitimate. Interesting film overall, though.
No alternate facts.
No ultimate facts on this one. Zeus wins. So next up, we're going to take a look at Body Slam. Now, Body Slam features Dirk Benedict of A-Team fame, Rowdy Piper, and one of the Samoans. I forget which one. I thought it was Siviafi forever, and it wasn't. But I know his name in the movie was Tonga Tom, which I'm not even sure if that's racist or not. It might be.
Race-ish.
You think so?
Yeah, whatever. Tonga Tom.
Tonga Tom.
Yeah, the name Tom. Yeah, close enough.
Yeah. So it was the Tonga Kid, by the way. It was Sam 5-2 was Tonga Tom. Yeah, you know, Captain Lou Albano in this movie, and the Samoans are in it. And then, strangely enough, it has appearances by Ric Flair, Freddie Blassie, Sheik Agnon, or General Agnon from WWF, Bruno Sammartino, and Alexis Smirnoff. They're all cameos in the kind of the final match here. And this one is, again, it's based on the Rock and Wrestling Connection. You have Dirk Benedict character who is a music agent or music promoter who at this point was, you know, having a hard time attracting talent, and then he goes into the world of wrestling, and then shenanigans and tomfoolery occur after that. Again, this was a straight-to-video release. It didn't get released to theaters, which is, again, it's a real interesting concept, especially with a star as big as Dirk Benedict. Roddy Piper is obviously coming off of They Live and Hell Comes to Frogtown. You had Tanya Roberts, again, another big-time actress at the time. So I'm curious about why this went directly to video and not released theatrically, but who knows? And the guy who directed Smokey and the Bandit directed this film, so.
Oh, well, quality.
Yeah. I like Smokey and the Bandit. It's a good flick. So, Matt, what are your thoughts on Body Slam?
I saw it one day like on channels, and I saw a wrestling ring. Oh, what's this? And I watched it, and I liked Battlestar Galactica, but in the A-Team. But Dirk Benedict didn't really do it for me.
I think this is probably on the tail end of his career at this point.
Yeah. I think the problem with wrestling is, when it comes to movies, too many people don't take it seriously. Like, they don't give it, like, real, like, oh, let's see where this is going to go. Like, when you just treat it like stupid, pranky fun, it never gets really taken seriously or developed.
Right. And it's like every wrestling movie is they're trying to be like Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
Like, it's a parody. And it's like, nah.
Right. What was? Oh, I'll get to him. Sure. Yeah.
So next up, we have the 1985 release, but I think originally it was shot in the 70s. We had I Like to Hurt People. This is a mockumentary, I guess you would call it, about the professional wrestling scene in the 70s. And a campaign, it centers around a campaign to ban the Sheik, the original Sheik. This movie, from what I understand, it was in pieces, and they basically, when wrestling got popular again, it was on the shelf for a long time. When wrestling got popular again, they kind of edited the movie together and kind of moshed it together and produced this movie. That's why it seems so weird, and it seems kind of dated for especially 1985. But it does have some. It's a funny movie. Just because you see the people who are in there, you see Andre the Giant, Abdul the Butcher, Dusty Rhodes is in it, obviously the Sheik, and it's like, ooh, and it's a real interesting flick. Ox Baker's in the Bobo Brazil. So it's supposed to be just a documentary about the world of professional wrestling, and I don't think it's not a great film, but it's a B movie.
Yeah, but I think to be fair, you think B movies, you think wrestling movies, and they're often given such shitty material and performances.
Yeah.
The same could be said for zombie flicks for years. They were always campy. Anybody with a camera could make one. So when you try to put a serious, like, oh, let's take a look at it, it's just, not.
No.
And I look at this and go, wow, you can actually make a good film out of it if you do it, but and some of these are just dreadful.
Yeah, it's bad news all around. And I Like to Hurt People is available on YouTube for free because no one gives a shit about the copyrights on that movie. So, there you go.
There you go. Yeah, Saturday nights and planned.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched it a couple different times, and in terms of a film making, film production, it's not a good film.
Yeah,
but you get to see your favorite wrestlers in it, so why not? Especially seeing like young Dusty Rhodes in it is cool to see.
Young Dusty,
the plumber's son. That's not something you'll be able to watch on regular TV. So next up we have Grunt, the wrestling movie. Again, this is another documentary style or mockumentary style wrestling movie. It's basically a documentary crew sets out to unravel one of the professional wrestling most cuddly secrets, and it features Mad Dog Joe Caruso. Again, another film that's like, it's something you would say that's driving at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
The only thing that's of note of this movie is the wrestlers that are in it, and it has Dick Murdoch and the Destroyer Dick Beyer in it, which is cool to see. Adrian Street is in it as well. So you get to see those wrestlers, but for the most part, it's like, no, definitely a pass on this one. It's not good at all. It's available on Amazon for $2.99, by the way. But again, it's a mockumentary. It's one of those movies that they're kind of just making fun of the wrestling business. just bad news all around. Yeah, not a good flick. So next up, we want to talk about there's two movies named The Wrestler. So we'll take the I guess you would call the modern wrestler first, The Wrestler featuring Mickey Rourke, and that is it's a good film. I believe it won a couple of awards. Let me double check.
Oh yeah, it won some critical acclaim.
I mean, it was a good movie. Again, this film had Universal Critical Acclaim, won the Golden Lions Award, Venice Film Festival, had an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor for Mickey Rourke, 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. I do enjoy this movie, although it's a little too dark for me. I like to have fun. I like stuff that's overly dramatic, and it does. It's kind of dark. You have like Mickey Rourke or Randy the Ram, who is a professional wrestler who's past his prime, and he works indies, and he works at a supermarket, and he goes to strip clubs, and he does the steroids and that kind of stuff, and it just kind of shows like what could happen to a big time wrestler if they're not careful with their money.
Right, and that's, I think, the thing that people miss a lot of the time with this movie is it's sort of a warning, like, there's a very dark side of this business. When I saw it, my friends looked at me afterwards and were like, was it really that bad? And I mean, nothing is ever, I feel, as pure and pristine as once, that you love, once you work for it and work in that business.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of guys that took pills for, like, pain.
Yeah.
The drugs, as far as steroids go, I didn't know many people. I had people that would say to me, like, hey, do you want me to get you some stuff? I can get you some this, and they would be like, okay, some cream stuff, there's some pills. It's funny because always the joke was shooting up with steroids, but like everyone I knew that was taking stuff was always pills.
Yeah.
And the thing was too, I always feel like the steroids, you might get the body, but there's a lot of shitty workers with a fucking great body.
Yeah.
There was a guy in Georgia who was fucking super jacked. He looked like kind of like a Biggie.
Okay.
All right, like similar, but like a less, I don't know, more svelte, I guess. Couldn't work worth shit. Could close on the fuck out of people and jump up and down and slam people, but he couldn't do anything else. And I think the what I really go back in this movie is the hard choice he makes to kind of keep his one shot at fame, floating. And that's why, like, when you go to these shows, like these independent shows, and you have these guys who were stars 30 years ago, you're like, Jesus, you're almost 60 years old.
Yeah.
What are you doing in the ring still?
Yeah, they don't know anything else.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And that's the sad and kind of dark, the darkness about professional wrestling is that these guys don't have health insurance, these guys don't have retirement plans, these guys, they pay for their own trans and travel and hotel rooms, and
Right.
they got to pay their taxes because I don't think their taxes are taken out of their check like most of us at a regular job. So when tax season comes, they have to come out with $10,000-$15,000, which is hard to do.
Right.
Regardless of how much money you make. But I think it's an interesting look at the pressure. Again, it might be too dark for me.
Well, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of if you watch those videos about like how McDonald's food is made, or NFL players after the NFL, like with your.
It does remind me of Any Given Sunday about football. It's like kind of the same concept.
Yeah, the punishment you put your body through to get where you want to be as a star.
Yeah.
And I think it's the ugly side of the business, you want to call it that, But,
all right, so next up is The Wrestler from 1974. Now, The Wrestler from 1974 was a film that was produced by Vern Gagne, and it's weird. It looks like a Vern Gagne-produced movie in the 70s. I guess notably it has Ed Asner in it from the Mary Tyler Moore Show. I mean, obviously it has Vern Gagne as the star, as a wrestler who's getting old, and there's pressure to replace him with younger wrestlers, and you have Billy Robinson who's in there who wants a match with Vern, and kind of the shenanigans that ensue there. Again, this movie is a very serious movie. There's a part of the movie where Ed Asner, Frank Bass is his name of his character, meets all the other wrestling promotions, and they possibly create a Super Bowl wrestling, and I mean, it's an okay film. I mean, it's not anything to write home about. But what's cool about this movie is all the wrestlers who are in this movie. Again, you had Vern Gagne, you had Billy Robinson, Don Morocco, Lord James Bleer is your favorite wrestler.
Yeah.
Danny Hodge, the Bruiser, Dan Gable. Vince McMahon's in this flick, so if you want to see a young Vince McMahon, he's in this.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah. The Crusher, Dusty Rhodes, Wahoo McDaniel, Nick Bockwinkel, Superstar Graham, Ray Stevens, Ric Flair, Dick Murdoch, Greg Gagne, Eddie Graham, Larry Hennig, Wilbur Snyder, Ken Patera, Jumpin' Jim Brunzell, Dory Funk Jr., Pedro Morales, and Mike Graham. So again, that's why you watch the movie. You don't watch the movie for the fucking story. You don't really give a shit about it, but you want to see, this is 1974, and this is probably, in terms of film quality, you're going to see some of these guys in their prime, so it's really cool to see. And it's also kind of cool to see kind of in the early 70s, kind of how the wrestling industry was.
Right.
I think it's a really nifty film. So, Matt, what are your thoughts?
Well, I agree. It's a nostalgia piece. You're not watching it for the story or the cinematography.
No.
If you like watching, stock footage of, random wrestling fans, old ladies, and people screaming at each other.
That's what we need in wrestling. More old ladies in the front row, by the way.
Oh, man. You need an old lady who's like, I'll kill you. Break his leg. That was, one thing I'll always say about wrestling in the South was the break it off now. Like if it was, let's say, Santa Lucha, break it off, Lucha, break it off. And they'd be chanting this. Like, what if he actually broke off the guy's leg? Blood's pouring into
like exact gown when he break off the leg, he throw it into the crowd.
Jose Lothario and beat him with it.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's ridiculous.
Good time.
Yeah. So I think in terms of a wrestling nostalgia piece, I mean, that's a great movie to check out. I definitely recommend watching that. In addition, you have the one and only. Now, this is a wrestling movie that features Henry Winkler, the Fonz. as a wrestler.
Yeah.
I mean, this is clearly a comedy. Not a whole lot to say because it's not necessarily a good movie. But again, what you want to see in this movie is what you see at the end, and it's Henry Winkler, the Fonz, and blonde hair, kind of looking like Gorgeous George having a wrestling match, and that's what you want to see.
Right.
It does have some pretty big stars. It has, Henry Winkler, obviously, the Fonz, King Darby, who was a pretty big star, Ed Begley Jr., who we've seen in many films. And it has fucking, what's his name from fucking Fantasy Island in it.
Tattoo.
Yeah.
He just beat his wife.
Did he?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
What a dick. Interesting enough about this movie.
Just takes that? Come on.
Interesting thing about this movie, it made almost $17 million in 1978, where No Holds Barred in 1989 made $16 million. So I guess, Henry Winkler's a bigger star than Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
But this is it's a Carl Reiner movie, worth at least a look for curiosity purposes.
Right.
But nothing more than that.
Yeah, if you're a huge Fonzie fan, you're like, man, I wish I had more Fonzie, but of him in a wrestling ring.
And if you want to check out Judo Gene LaBelle, he wrestles the Fonz in this movie. So
right.
So it's pretty cool. Matt, what are your thoughts on the one and only? The poster is funny because he looks like Ric Flair.
A little bit, I see that. Yeah, I thought the setup was traditional. It goes that traditional route of like, we want to be wrestling, we want to make it campy and silly and stupid. And I think the problem is that if you make it too campy and silly, people don't have enough attachment to it, because they're like, well, why the hell would you stay in that situation? But what are you going to do?
And then I guess the piece of la resistance, so to speak, is Blood Circus.
Blood Circus!
From what I understand, this movie was never released anywhere. And I know there are people out there who are looking for any kind of cut of this movie. So Blood Circus is a science fiction movie with a pro wrestling feel. The premise is aliens from the planet Zoran are sent to Earth to fight against professional wrestlers from the United States and the Soviet Union who are proved to be actually man-eaters who devour their opponents upon defeating them.
Okay.
Yeah. The interesting part about this movie that it has Ox Baker and Eric Embry in it. And I wish we talked more about Eric Embry, but it's fucking Eric Embry.
Right.
It's interesting to me because when you look on the internet, you look on YouTube, it was promoted through infomercials. I guess they were looking for a distributor, and they couldn't find one, so it was never actually released in any form or fashion anywhere. So maybe one day it'll be unearthed, and we'll get to see it. And because I'm definitely interested in checking out this movie now, because of the ridiculous concept. So Matt, what are your thoughts about aliens coming to Earth to fight professional wrestlers?
I think aliens are already here. They were in Hillary's emails.
They were.
Yeah, I think that's one of those gimmicks where they're like, oh, let's combine two random popular things, and just see what happens. Sure, what alien wouldn't come down and be like, hey, we have all this technology, but let's throw it aside and have a brawl in the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, going to the more crazy or insane wrestling movies, you have Pro Wrestlers vs. Zombies, which is a 2013 horror film that came out. And again, that's about more who's in it than the actual movie. The plot is that Shane Douglas accidentally kills a fellow wrestler in the ring, and then his brother takes matters in his own hands and summons a demon to seek revenge. At that point, then zombies come up, and Shane Douglas and Roddy Piper fight zombies. So there you go. But like I said, the most interesting part about this movie is who's in it. You have Roddy Piper, Kurt Angle, Matt Hardy, Jim Duggan, Reby Sky, Shane Douglas.
Is this just really a long, 2 hours of them just body slamming extras?
Yeah, basically. I mean, it goes back to the point where, we're going to make a zombie B movie, and it's going to be shitty. And, again, it's more of that drive-in B movie kind of feel.
Right.
This movie was actually funded through Kickstarter.
Wow.
So there you go. Who the fuck puts Shane Douglas in a starring role?
Yeah, desperation.
For fuck's sake. I like Shane, but Jesus. What are you going to do? Do you think that would work as a promotion? Where like, okay, we're gonna do a horror promotion, where we're gonna have zombies and fucking Frankensteins, and make it kind of bloody and gory to kind of make that.
It could. You never know.
Zombies are a big thing right now, and
I was watching the DDT wrestling, and that's so bizarre and random.
oh my god, that's hard. That's for me. That's a little hard to watch. Some of the shit they do, but
Yeah.
if it makes money, go for it.
Right.
Is there any nudity in this flick? No nudity. How you gonna have a zombie movie with no nudity? That's ridiculous. Now what are you gonna do? So again, another going back to some more mainstream wrestling films. We have Paradise Alley, which was written by Sylvester Stallone. Here's the thing about Paradise Alley. If it came out 10 years earlier, much like his other movie named Fist, which is a great flick, but it came out too late, I think it would have done well. But when you talk about, I'm gonna make a movie about wrestling in the early 20th century. It's just weird. But it does have some really cool wrestlers in it. It has Terry Funk, obviously. Ted DiBiase's in it, which is cool to see. But then overall, I mean, it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is a boring flick. And it's about a trio of brothers who the one brother is, he's huge, but he might be a little slow in the head, and they go on to kind of manage their brother's career in the world of professional wrestling. Well, overall, it's like And I understand that this is coming right off the heels of Rocky. And actually, this is the movie that Stallone pitched before he pitched Rocky. Yeah, Terry Funk is the main villain. You had Ted DiBiase, Bob Roop, Dick Murdoch, Dory Funk Jr., Don Cornoodle, yes, Gene Kiniski, Dennis Stamp makes an appearance, Ray Stevens, and Haku are all in this movie. So again, if you want to check out some cool wrestlers in movies, check out Paradise Alley. So Matt, what are your thoughts on Paradise Alley?
I always think back to the absolute worst opening, which was the opening montage of them running along the buildings, and thinking, please end it. Make it stop.
Yeah.
But, it's one of those things that it's the other side of the coin. Taking it too seriously and making it just a god-awful mess. It's like, oh, this is the exciting challenge. And, it's not exciting at all.
Yeah, it's boring flick. Nighthawks was better. I like Billy D. Williams. Do you know if Billy D. Williams went by his regular first name, his name would be William D. Williams?
Really?
That's Billy D. Williams.
Oh.
Billy is short for William. That's fucking weird.
Billy D.
Colt 45. He's another guy that likes to beat his wife, too. Yeah, his name is William December Williams Jr. Brian Song was a good flick, too. What are you going to do? He's good in Batman. As Black Harvey Dent. So, guys, what are your thoughts on some of the movies, the wrestling movies that are out there? Most of them are not good, but again, they're intended to be very much B-movie kind of fare. Stuff that you would watch at drive-ins, stuff that would be taken too seriously. I think overall that is the kind of state of pro wrestling movies. Although I wish they had a wrestling television show, and I would put this thing on HBO. And it would take place in the 80s, and you get to see all the shenanigans and tomfoolery. These guys living the rock star lifestyle. And you could do some of the stuff with Vince trying to take over the world, and some of the issues they may have had with the rival promoters, and you could do a really cool HBO style, very, very R-rated wrestling television show that would be great. Maybe one day they'll do it. Maybe The Rock will do it or something. The Rock and fucking Mark Wahlberg. They open up a Wahlburgers by me. I gotta check it out. Hope it's good. You ever been to Wahlburger?
I have.
Is it good?
I'll tell you, the burger was really good, but I don't know what kind of bun they use, but it's soaked in butter.
Oh.
So it's delicious. It's like, oh my god. So it makes the burger taste really good. It's almost like, I guess, if you like butter in your pancakes. But the fries sucked, but did really enjoy the burger.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a gift card for that for Christmas, so I want to check that out. So that's real good. Speaking of wrestling-themed restaurants, I regret not going to WWF New York. Again, I live about a half hour outside of New York City. Never went. I went to like the All-Star Cafe, Hard Rock, obviously. But I never went to WWE New York, and I wish I had, especially for one of those pay-per-views, because it looked really cool. I wonder how the food was, though. Probably shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. Oh, boy. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
So, we're going to talk a little bit about the Royal Rumble. We've been dipping our toes in it for a couple of weeks now. But we'll get into the Royal Rumble, which is this weekend. Hopefully I get this video out before Sunday. See how that goes. But, Matt, what are your overall thoughts on the Royal Rumble event, throughout history as an event?
My number one suggestion for the Royal Rumble, and my pet peeve with it as a whole, anybody who's in it should, in the fans' eyes, have a legit shot to win it. Like, don't give me comedy, don't give me, nostalgia, unless you're going to bring him back for a run that people are like, he never won the world title? Like, like some kind of run. It's so annoying to see. Oh, look, it's Jim Duggan, who can barely walk. And he comes in, he gets hit by some star, and falls out of the ring and takes his $10,000 check and goes home. I mean, I get it. You want to give the guys, something. But save it for WrestleMania. Have a Legends Battle Royal and watch the hips break.
Yeah. You can have a New Japan Rumble and have cheeseburger in it.
Yeah.
So this year's Royal Rumble, we'll go through the card real quick. We have Cesaro and Sheamus, the tag team champions, taking on Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax. Kevin Owens, Universal Champion, taking on Roman Reigns. AJ Styles, the WWE Champion, taking on John Cena. Charlotte taking on Bayley. Rich Swann, the Cruiserweight Champion, taking on Neville. And Becky Lynch, Nikki Bella, and Naomi taking on Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, and Natalya. So that is your official Royal Rumble card. It looks a little weak, to be honest, especially for a joint show, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not really interested in that Sasha Nia Jax match, so we can throw that one out the window. I'm not a big fan of Sheamus, so anything that he's involved in, I don't really watch. Although I'm a huge fan of Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Hopefully they win the belts because they're long overdue for that. Rich Swann and Neville, that should be an interesting match. Let's see if these guys can pull something off in terms of the Cruiserweight division on a big stage like this. Yep. Good for you, Rich Swann, because you're awesome. So I'm glad he's getting a nice little push. I think Charlotte versus Bayley is going to be a hell of a match, so I'm really interested in that match. We'll see what these guys can do.
Yeah.
And then we have the six-woman tag team match, which I'm excited to see Mickie James make an appearance. And, everyone knows my love for Alexa Bliss. So this might be your popcorn match. Hopefully they can pull something out to make the match interesting. You have a Bella in there, so it's like, who knows. But Becky Lynch is in there, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Right.
And then you have your two title matches, your Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns. And I'll say this. Okay, this is a no disqualification match for the Universal Championship, and Chris Jericho will be suspended in a shark cage above the ring. What the shark cage gimmick is something they've done for hundreds of years at this point. Most notably with Jimmy Hart and Jim Cornette. And I guess it's to me, I'm not trying to be a fucking smart mark or whatever. It's like, there's no way, and for fuck's sake, there's no way that Roman Reigns should win this match. There's no fucking way.
Yeah. I
don't care what they do. Jericho can go throw something down to the ring and he can knock out Roman Reigns, but at this point, I think the Roman Reigns experiment should be abandoned at this point. He should be a bodyguard, a part of a stable, kind of in the background. It's going against the grain of what you're doing in terms of the rest of the promotion. and it makes no sense. And again, I understand that you want to push him and you want to make him the face of the company, but it's not working. It's just not. And a lot of people say, "Oh, well, he's getting a reaction." It's like, yeah, but it's the wrong reaction. And at this point, Kevin Owens deserves his match at WrestleMania for his championship match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And I think if they do a scenario where both Roman Reigns and John Cena wins, it's going to be fucking a shit show. So, Matt, what are your thoughts on Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns for the title?
I would have Owens go over clean. I think you have to do something where, unless you're going to have Reigns get quote-unquote robbed by some third-party interference, but he's already had a program with Rusev.
Yeah.
Who's he going to have a program with? Is it going to be Strowman?
I mean that's the most logical, but those matches are not going to be good.
No, but it's just, I think you're better off like rebooting Reigns. Give some time off, because even if guys who come back after being away, always that comeback push.
Yeah.
Fans are like, "Hey,
you're back." Hey.
Right. But I think really it's Roman Reigns is such a toxic figure, and I know people say, "Oh, give him a break." It does. He's just not.
It's not his fault. I mean, he looks good. He has good matches. His promos are so-so, but there's nothing inherently wrong with Roman Reigns. I don't hate Roman Reigns, the wrestler. He's perfectly fine. But the crowd is fucking shitting on him left and right, and you're gonna go into another Royal Rumble where they fucking boo the shit out of him again. Yeah. That's kind of what they do now, right? They're gonna boo the shit out of him. So why even put him through that? It makes no fucking sense. You're damaging this property that you can try to rehab it, but it's like, what are you gonna do now? And I feel the same way about AJ Styles versus John Cena. That's probably gonna be a hell of a match. They've had good matches in the past, so I'm excited to see the match. But if AJ Styles drops the belt to a part-time John Cena, so you can be in a main event at WrestleMania, that's bullshit. AJ deserves a spot. He's been carrying it for the past fucking 6-7 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where people get pissed. And if fans don't care about that shit, they do. So it's gonna be like, it's bullshit. And it's like, you're gonna have John Cena versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania? Fuck you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like
that would be such a disaster, and it really. I think what you need to do is have Owens have a showdown. Like, for example, if you hadn't been WWE typical shit writing,
right,
and had the Sami Zayn circle around for main event wrestling, Zayn comes back out of nowhere, like he dumps Strowman out, he wins the Rumble,
right,
and he gets to face his old foe, and friend. Okay, I'm on board with that. They'll have a great match.
I'm just wondering what they're gonna do with the Rumble. I don't want to see the same guys win no more. So I don't want to see Seth Rollins win this one. I don't want to see Randy Orton win this one. I don't want to see Bray Wyatt win this one.
Right.
Sheamus, Rusev, Cesaro, those guys have been around for a while. Dolph Ziggler, The Miz. Like, I don't want any of those guys to win. I want to see someone that literally come out of nowhere to win it. Would it be a Samoa Joe, who might make his debut with this show?
Okay, so let's play the game of if somebody comes out of nowhere to win it. So let's start with our most logical assumptions or obvious choices. Samoa Joe, right?
Yeah.
He's gonna fight. It's gonna be considered the WrestleMania Battle of the Fatties. All right, so I can see that just being like, unless he goes after Styles.
If Joe wins, you would either put the belt on Roman Reigns or you put the belt on John Cena. I haven't figured one of those two guys. That's the logical.
I guess I could see him fighting Styles, because isn't it the winner can choose the title they go for now, right?
Something like that. I'm pretty sure.
I would assume it would be the case.
Yeah, I mean, they've done that in the past.
So I would just say that the Styles choice becomes more obvious because Styles and him have a history of working together. They know each other.
Yeah, they've had fantastic matches in the past. So on that stage, I think they can pull something fantastic. Be aware, and this might be nothing, but in the world of professional wrestling, you take rumor and innuendo and you kind of run with it. Pro Wrestling Tees, who distributes shirts for Kenny Omega, put out releases like, hey, guys, you probably should buy his shirts now. because if he does go to WWE, we're not going to be able to sell his shirts. It's kind of weird that they would say that. So be on the lookout for Kenny Omega in the Royal Rumble.
I'll say this much: if you were going to bring someone in and it was funny because like I heard Dave Meltzer's podcast talking about saying, well, the casual fan doesn't. The casual fan will be like, okay, who's this guy? And see him wrestling, go, holy shit, this guy's fucking awesome.
Right.
Which is what happens with like when AJ Styles came in last year, everyone was like chanting his name.
Yeah.
If Kenny Omega came in and won the Rumble, let's say they go the Ric Flair approach, he shows up, wins, and it's like an amazing finale finish, right? And he wins it. And let's say, because AJ Styles isn't in it, so let's say Kenny's in it. Well, they go, during the match, AJ Styles comes to ringside or comes to the announcer's table, and they're like, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, I got a history with this guy. And as the match gives the history, so the fans go, wow, these guys have had a rivalry, and he basically stole his stable from him in Japan, and Styles wants to watch him get destroyed firsthand. Then Kenny wins. But does Kenny come in as a face or a heel?
I think you bring him in as a face. Because if he comes in as a face, if he gets a reaction, you got to make him a face.
See, that's the thing I was thinking. We talked about this before.
If he doesn't get a reaction, you put him as a heel.
Like the role of a face and a heel has been taken out of the hands of the promoters, really.
Yeah.
So I think having him come in and just be this hot shot, out of the blue, would be a really good way to ride the wave. But then you've got what, 40 days, 60 days before WrestleMania?
Yeah.
When's it? April? March?
This year? It's usually the last week of March, first week of April, historically.
Right.
But April 2nd. But watch out, because don't forget you have Brock Lesnar in the Royal Rumble, you have The Undertaker in the Royal Rumble, you also have Bill Goldberg in the Royal Rumble. So
right. I do think you're going to see what do they call it? At WrestleMania, you'll see Goldberg versus Lesnar.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair assumption at this point. I think you got to find an opponent for Undertaker, which, in my opinion, probably should be John Cena. That's your money match, because that's another big time match that they haven't had. I think they've wrestled, but they haven't wrestled in 100 years.
Yeah,
since the early 2000s. So, I'm looking forward to the Rumble because, like we saw last year with AJ Styles' kind of debut, we don't know who's coming in. I like to see some fresh names out there and really kind of get the WrestleMania season going. I think overall, I'm hopeful that this will be a good show. In addition, you do have TakeOver, who takes place, I believe, the night before. So you do have TakeOver, and then the card for that. You have Nakamura taking on Bobby Roode, which will be a really good match. Not really interested in Gargano and Ciampa taking on the Authors of Pain. You have Asuka versus Nikki Cross versus Billie Kay versus Peyton Royce. Eric Young, taking on Ty Dillinger, and you have Roderick Strong versus Andrade Almas. What really hurts them at this point is that obviously there's no Joe on the show. If you notice, there's no Samoa Joe on the show.
Yeah.
But Austin Aries still's out with that injury too, so it kind of hurts the NXT brand currently.
Yeah.
Although I think that Nakamura by a Roode match is going to be pretty good. Other than that, I'm not really interested in anything else on this card. I'd like to see Roderick Strong on there, which is pretty cool. But other than that, I think that's a weak NXT show, especially from the ones that we're kind of used to at this point. Yeah. They should have threw out one of those UK guys on that show from the UK tournament just to showcase them. That's what I would have done. Like, take their champion, who is Tyler Bates, by the way.
Yeah.
I would have featured them on a show in a spot just to have them on there. But it's an interesting time in terms of professional wrestling. As we're looking at the WWE, who's very possible that they're creating their own promotions around the world. Curious to see what they do in Japan. Like to see more international stuff and kind of, they're making friends with the indies and then stealing all their talents.
Right.
But I'm not worried about it because there's so much talent out there. It's like you can't have them all. I'm still waiting for a return of Brian Cage because I think he's awesome. And then Ricochet is still out there in the indies, who is probably one of the best wrestlers out there. Currently, you still have Ospreay, you still have Matt Riddle, so there's still enough guys for the indies, and Young Bucks are still out there.
Yeah.
So, it's not going to kill the indies. You still have your Jay Lethals, and you still got guys like Ring of Honor, so there's still talent out there, but it is drying up and drying up pretty quickly. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? There's a lot of dead weight on the WWF roster right now too. The WWE.
Well, that's the thing too. They retain so many people that are just like, is Jack Swagger still there?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think he's doing it.
Why even keep a guy like that? Like, you know, or like the Big Show before he was, you know, I guess he's having a WrestleMania match with Shaq supposedly.
Yeah.
But like, what's he doing? Like, why?
I think Big Show's more of a part timer at this point. I don't know where to go for him. Because what are you going to do at this point? What are you going to do with the Big Show? That hasn't been done 100 million times. But I think the roster is kind of bloated right now. I'm just talking about the main rosters. But you know, they need to drop some dead weight here. And it's good. It's good to drop weight because when these guys go out to the Indies again, it kind of revitalizes the Indies a little bit. When look at Cody Rhodes. You know, he's out there having a hell of a run right now in independence and in Japan. So, you know, give these guys an opportunity. I mean, these guys are getting, I guess, decent money if they're coming off the WWE television. So, what are you gonna do? So who's dead weight on this roster?
On WWE's roster?
Big Show.
I think well, I guess it depends on your opinion, but I would say
Kurt Axel.
Yeah,
Darren
like
Young. Epico. Fandango.
I mean, you want to have enhancement talent for sure.
Yeah.
But
Jack Swagger's not a fucking enhancement talent type of guy. Like James Ellsworth is an enhancement talent type of guy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm looking at a personnel list here, and let's see who I noticed, because I think like female wrestlers, you know, I don't know, like Bo Dallas.
You did nothing with them.
Nothing. You know, you're wasting time. You're better off cutting back your talent and giving better matches and better timing. Darren Young.
Yep. You
see him break his elbow?
Yeah, it's gross. I feel so bad for him.
It's weird too the way he falls. Like, dude, like I don't know. Epico. Don't forget Finn Balor's out there. He's not coming back though, right?
He might make a push for WrestleMania.
Okay. Goldust is still on there.
Gold's a good utility guy though.
Yeah, he is. Mark Henry, Primo. I'm not a Sheamus fan. Titus O'Neil to me is a waste of time. Like they keep rolling him out there, and it's like, really, dude?
He's gotten plenty of opportunities at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, even like I like R-Truth, but what more are you gonna do with R-Truth at this point?
Yeah. Sad.
It is sad. It is. I mean, obviously, Ryder's out with an injury. Tyson Kidd's out with an injury. He may never be coming back. What about Tyler Breeze? Like, I like his gimmick, and he's a good little worker, but you know, don't keep these guys on if you're not going to do anything with them. You're wasting time.
Yeah. Oh, man. Kenny. That was Kenny.
Kenny Dykstra? Kenny from the Spirits? He's a good little worker.
Oh, right.
He can go.
The Usos I find useless, but that's just me.
Well, they did this weird heel turn thing that didn't work.
Yeah.
So, but they get overshadowed by, like, they put Orton and Wyatt as a team, and then they had American Alpha, where I hate when they have those teams that are like two stars together, like Austin and HBK.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I hate those. Like, either you have dedicated tag teams or you don't. Because you're just taking up someone's spot. So that's annoying. Like, Sheamus and Cesaro pisses me off. Like, you literally have nothing for them to do, so we're going to make them a tag team.
Right.
Good job. Yeah. Oh. So, yeah, fuck those guys. So, guys, as we wrap up this particular episode of the NWA 1983 project, don't forget that we do have an ECW themed show that'll be coming out in a couple of weeks. I'm still working on the particulars on that. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to talk some Extreme Championship Wrestling and some Eastern Championship Wrestling too. Because what the fuck? That'll be the first of a series of shows where we talk about some of the other promotions that are existed in time. So we'll talk a little bit about Evolve, Ring of Honor, Global Wrestling Federation, AWA, So some of the promotions that we didn't touch on in the NWA project we'll touch on in this retro wrestling game spotlight. It's going to be the name of the show. So that should be fun. And again, we're going to use WWE2k16 for that. And that's going to be a whole lot of fun. So I'm real excited about that. And I want to do a little spoiler for you guys, since you guys are listening to the end of the show, and I do appreciate that. We're going to have a big debut coming up in a couple weeks.
Uh-oh.
Now, I'll let everyone kind of guess on who is going to be. I'm not going to spoil it on this episode. I might tell you next one. But we're going to have a big debut.
It's Mary Tyler Moore.
It is.
Oh.
Too soon, dude. So a big debut, and I want you guys to go back in your history and find out what was the big debut of 1983, and who came into the wrestling ranks and rose to prominence pretty quickly. So I'll let you guys guess on that, and we'll talk about it on another episode of the NWA 1983 project. So that's gonna be a whole lot of fun. Again, our next main event will take place live from Tokyo, Japan. It'll be the New Japan Pro Wrestling Super Show. Is going to feature Harley Race taking on Antonio Inoki on that show for the NWA World Title, and we'll talk a whole lot about New Japan Pro Wrestling. I feel like we've been talking a lot about Japanese wrestling as of late, but you know, what are you gonna do? It's an interesting topic, interesting subject, and that's going to be a whole lot of fun to talk about. So for Matt Riley, I am Lex G. Have a good night.